LEGO has a magical way of making us spend money by dangling free Harry Potter sets in front of our noses. During this year's Back to Hogwarts event, there's free gift with purchase promos up for grabs. A Quidditch lesson polybag, free if you spend over $40, a Hogsmeade street sign collectible, which is exclusive to the new Hogsmeade Village, and the star of today's show, the Room of Requirement. So here's the deal. Set 40770, Hogwarts Castle Room of Requirement, is a special Harry Potter GWP available from September the 1st to the 7th, or while stocks last. It's free with Harry Potter purchases totaling at least $130 at LEGO stores or online. In other words, it's free with a $130 price tag. Still, for hardcore fans, it's a pretty enticing bonus. And unlike those throwaway polybags, this Room of Requirement is a fully fledged mini set in its own right. With that said, this set is part of the Hogwarts modular system. If you've been collecting the recent Hogwarts castle sets, you can integrate this room into your castle. It's built to fold up and slot into the larger Hogwarts build. Now for me, that's a big issue, and we'll talk about why later in the video. For now, let's find out if this is worth spending a small fortune to get hold of. Before we get into that, there's one thing you should do first, and that's hit that subscribe button if you want to stay in the loop with all things LEGO Harry Potter. Once built and closed up, the Room of Requirement set frankly looks like a non-discrete beige box, and I guess that's okay. When folded, all you see on the outside are plain tan castle walls and a tall archway entrance on one side. There's no eye candy on these outer walls aside from a few exposed Technic pinholes and rail plates meant for connecting to the modular Hogwarts sections. The archway is the only hint that something is behind that wall. I actually quite like the inclusion of the arch as a suggestion of the room's entrance, though I do wish we could have gotten a hidden entrance or some kind of hidden door. The bottom line is when it's closed, it's intentionally plain on the outside because all the magic is waiting for you inside. Once you open up this set, the Room of Requirement comes to life with a surprising amount of detail crammed into such a small space. The layout is compact but filled with nods to the Deathly Hallows. Starting on the left side, a potted plant that Harry Potter fans will recognise immediately as Neville's Mimbulus Mimbletonia. LEGO created Neville's prickly green plant using this fairly new piece. I loved seeing this part as the bubbling potion element from the Potions class set, and this time it's recoloured in olive green. I love that they included the plant as you do see it in the Deathly Hallows Part 2 scene, and it's a fun Easter egg tying back to Neville's character. You can also see a small brown chest stored here, which although empty is a nice touch as you do see students gathered around Hogwarts trunks and using everything they can find to sit around on. Moving up, we have a sticker that depicts a blackboard and some bulletin board clutter. This sticker shows a sketch of the dark mark crossed out and what looks like other scribbled notes and symbols, which I'm not entirely sure on. I did wonder if they're enchantments, and the drawing on the bottom left kind of looks like a bogart. If you guys have any idea of what this is, please let me know in the comments. Beneath that blackboard sticker, there's a build for a broken radio and a hanging light bulb, which is such a neat touch. If you recall in Deathly Hallows, the DA students were listening to the radio while hiding out, and later they used the radio to announce lightning has struck, aka Harry is back. Right below there's also a tiny bench or bed piece built into the corner. It's only about 3 studs long, so it's a bit undersized to be a true bed. If a minifig tried to lie down, their legs would hilariously hang off the edge. It's a minor thing, but at least they tried to include different places to sit or sleep given the room was used as a refuge. It makes sense to have makeshift bedding. Maybe it's a sleeping bag. At the centre of the room is a fireplace and escape route. There's a brick-built fireplace at floor level with a little flame element, and above it, a ladder leads up to a portrait on the wall. This is one of my favourite details. That portrait is actually another sticker showing Harry, Ron and Hermione walking through the secret passage from Hogsmeade. In the Deathly Hallows story, Neville and the DA use Ariana Dumbledore's portrait in the Hog's Head to travel to the Room of Requirement. Here, LEGO included the other end of that connection. The painting you see is essentially the view of the trio coming through that passage. If you happen to have the new Hogsmeade Village, that set contains a portrait of Ariana which opens up to reveal the passage, and this Room of Requirement set portrait is the counterpart. There's even a ladder underneath the painting here, which implies how students climb up into the room from the tunnel. It's a clever little play feature that directly links this GWP to the Hogsmeade set. Continuing to the right side of the room, we find even more hidden treasures. There's another small 3-stud bed, and above that is a second stickered wall panel, which shows a bunch of books on shelves and a playful Cornish pixie in a jar, perhaps a reference to the Chamber of Secrets. This sticker does a great job at hinting at the chaotic collection of magical stuff students have stashed in the room over the years. On the floor and shelves around here, LEGO includes some physical accessory pieces too, notably a golden cup and a golden crown, which are probably Easter eggs for 2 Hogwarts related Horcruxes. There's also a small wizard chess set build included on the right side, which again is a nice touch as you do see DA students playing chess in that scene in the Deathly Hallows. Finally, up in the rafters of the Room of Requirement, we have the hammocks. There's 2 dark green hammocks suspended near the ceiling, one on each side of the room, and they really steal the scene. LEGO often reuses parts in creative ways, and here they took a curved canopy piece, usually seen on city helicopters, and flip them horizontally to serve as a hammock, and it works perfectly. The colour even matches the tattered canvas look from the movie and breaks up the tan walls nicely. And I love that LEGO included them because it really sells the idea that this is the DA's makeshift home base while hiding from the Carrows. This set includes a Neville Longbottom as the sole minifigure. Since this Room of Requirement scene is one of his big moments to shine, it makes a lot of sense. He comes with a grey knit cardigan over a shirt, which is a pretty accurate version of his outfit in Deathly Hallows 2. Now, this torso piece is not exclusive to the set, it's actually used by an Aunt May minifigure, but it does the job well enough. Neville's face print has a confident, friendly smile on one side and a scared expression on the other. Again, not exclusive as this particular head was previously used in the Monster Book of Monsters set. All in all, this Room of Requirement packs a lot of heart for a gift with purchase. It's a love letter to a pivotal Hogwarts scene with clever design choices and tons of Easter eggs for fans. I'm genuinely impressed by how much they managed to squeeze into a 202-piece set. In fact, it's so nicely done, I almost forget this is a free promo item. And that brings me to a bit of a gripe. This set is important. It's literally the Room of Requirement from the climax of the series, so making it a limited time giveaway kind of stings. But the worst part for me is the fact that this is yet another part of the modular castle, and for completionists, it kind of forces them to go out and spend $130 to get hold of this part of the castle. Sure, you could probably buy it online afterwards, but it's the principle that doesn't sit right with me. The other issue is that we just keep getting more and more elements to the modular castle, meaning that there's just no room to have everything in the castle. Don't get me wrong, it's nice to have choice, to have so many different areas of the castle, but a lot of these sets just don't look that great when they're displayed on their own. What do you guys think? Was this the correct way for LEGO to launch this system? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thank you for watching.